quickly. I know I said that on Thursday that was our series finale of the Justin Baldoni case, but I lied. Whatever, who cares? I wanted to feel like Blake Lively felt when she filed her complaint. Tons of fibs. Amazing update. So Thursday, for the finale, we did, essentially, I walked you through the New York Times metadata and showed you that this woman had posted on X and essentially just like blared it out to the world. And we showed you how you could right click and look at how they embedded all of these messages that show October 31st potentially. Well, guess what? Yesterday, so our episode was on Thursday. Yesterday on Friday, Brian Friedman, Justin Baldoni's lawyer, amended their lawsuit against Blake Lively, and they included the New York Times data, which we showed you guys on the show. And what's really cool about it, TMZ is reporting it and some other outlets, is the fact that Brian Friedman is giving credit to the internet sleuths. Like typically they leave us out. It's like the moms hunting, us sending emails, you guys sending me emails at info@candace.com, and all of us discussing it. And typically they just like cut you out and they're like, oh, we discovered this. No, Brian Friedman says, due to public interest in this case, we have now stumbled upon this and we're therefore amending this because we think that it shows that she was plotting before. And what's also really amazing about it is he even says we now have a concrete timeline, which we believe implicates Blake Lively. And I mean, come on. I was the psycho who put together the timeline. So I think they've been watching the show. I think which is a huge credit to all of us because you guys have been sending me those tips, tagging me and stuff. And I've just been presenting it to the public and putting together a timeline to pull things together. I think he will eventually subpoena Taylor Swift. But here's what's even greater. On Monday, they're going to court because two things. Blake is trying to gag them. I don't think that's going to go through. How can you try to say you're playing this in the press when the entire reason we got here was because you tried to play this in the press? Like you went to the New York Times to try to take him down and to set a public narrative. And now that it's backfiring, you want out. But the craziest part of the entire thing is Blake Lively says, like they met the other day, like the lawyers got onto a call and she's basically saying that she does not want to sit down for a deposition with Brian Friedman. Like, I know that this girl grew up rich and privileged, but how rich we talking? You know what I'm saying? Because does she think she's like a princess that she can just be like, I don't like your lawyer and I don't want to sit down with him and answer questions and tell the truth. So she's trying to get out of having to sit down and be deposed by Brian Friedman. Like, sweetheart, that's not your option. You don't get to decide who your defense's lawyer is. He picked Brian Friedman. You don't like him because he played your game better than you. Like, you guys went to the New York Times. Oh, nobody could be bigger than the New York Times before you filed your lawsuit, as all of the evidence is indicating, because you wanted to set the public narrative against Justin Baldoni. Now that it's backfiring, you're like, hey, I want people gagged. This is unprofessional to go to the press. Everyone sees right through you and Ryan. Like, oh, we weren't trying to play the public, but we put it in every Deadpool scene and we mocked this man extensively. And but now that the public is onto us and they see how cruel we've been, we would like things to be quiet and we want a judge to see our side of things. Girl, goodbye. Like, just goodbye. It's like the fakest thing ever. She's now Fake Lively, Crying Reynolds. That's what they're calling them out there. Fake Lively and Crying Reynolds here, who want to pretend that they were not the bullies, that the public just saw right through them in this circumstance. But anyways, just wanted to say that we should be celebrating this as a major win because we were the ones who dug all of this up like psychos, because we have been obsessed with this case. And I think it is just one of these David and Goliath situations. Like I said, like Justin Baldoni's like my cousin now. He's my kombucha sipping cousin. You know, he had an unexpected wild dragon in me, and he's like the Jon Snow of her Targaryen story. He really never wanted this. He's like, I never wanted this. I thought Blake Lively was my queen. I'm like, dude, she just killed a whole village of children and innocent women. Okay, she's psycho. Okay, get on my back. We're gonna go get some revenge. No, I never wanted it. Justin. He's like, why'd you vote for Trump? Justin, stop. It doesn't matter who voted for Trump. Get on my back. We're gonna go get some revenge. Okay. Anyways, it's been amazing. I'm so happy for Justin Baldoni. Monday, they will be going to court and I will be monitoring that and probably do a live. I don't know what time they're going to go to court, but we'll have some more updates on what's going on with the situation. Obviously, the judge is not going to allow her to pick his lawyer. It's just such a pompous, arrogant thing to ask. And yeah, this is her perfect karma. Played it in the public, and now the public is playing, girlfriend. Anyways, had to give you guys an update. You can go check that out. I'll link the articles that are talking about Brian Friedman amending their complaint against Ryan Reynolds and Blake. I'll see you guys probably on Monday.
So as you guys can see, there's been an amendment that is being made to say that other sources have come forward. Now, if you are not familiar with the case and what other sources there is an anonymous post on Reddit who basically tell everyone the details, every single thing about this case is being outlined on this anonymous post on Reddit about Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively, the fact that they don't like each other, the fact that they changed composer in the very end. And the reason why everybody has turned against her, because like she said, she was the one that went to the internet first. She was like Me Too movement, being harassed in the workplace, SA, in the music industry. And I understand why everyone was just jumping on the Me Too movement, because you know, with everything that was happening with Diddy's case and seeing how bad Hollywood have become and just how dangerous and just horrific it is to be a part of the Hollywood franchise, being a part of that world. Now everyone was on her side and being like, yeah, this is likely, this is probably, we've heard the stories of especially little kids on these sets and what we hear about pedophiles, all those things. We've all heard it, we've all seen it. So everyone was on their case. Like, guys, it has reached a point where there is a stand with Blake Lively hashtag going on X. Like, if you're not on X, then you probably would not know about it. I might do a separate video going through how these people are saying that it's not going to be another Johnny Depp situation with his wife where no one stood beside her. Because what these people are ultimately saying is that the reason why Justin Baldoni went for Brandon Freeman to be his lawyer is because he's guilty, because they do believe that Johnny Depp at the time is guilty. Like, there are persons still out here believing that Johnny Depp was indeed guilty of the things that he had done to his wife and ex-wife, that is. And you know that his ex-wife came out after knowing the news that he was Justin Baldoni was being represented by her ex-husband lawyer. She came out in full stance, Me Too movements, like women, you know. And you know that Blake Lively is like a huge feminist and she stands for all women in the rudest way. We've all seen the clips, we've seen them all. In the rudest way, she's a feminist. And so she's using that as a leverage to be like, oh, Me Too, like women are not being protected in our workplace. SA is happening so much, and you know, she feels violated, all of those things. And she's using that as a leverage to get people. And as you guys saw, she was also using Taylor Swift, and an article came out in the past week where Taylor Swift was like, I'm completely and 100% removing myself from this situation. I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to be a part of it, because basically what was going around is being said that basically Blake Lively was using Taylor Swift because of the influence that Taylor Swift has. And this is what she does. She draw on persons influence, and she leveraged things. She leveraged the feminist movement, she leveraged the Me Too movement, and now we have a stand with Blake movement. There's literally tweets on X with that. And she also leveraged her friend, which is Taylor Swift, and her friend was like, listen, I'm stepping away. But what Candace Owens did was find information that it was actually Taylor Swift is more involved than she claims to be, and she was involved from the start. Because if you don't know, there are two versions to It Ends With Us. There's Blake's version, and then there's Justin's version. The version that actually come to our screen is Blake's version, because she did not feel safe and she felt that she was being SA'd during the entire movie. So her version is the version that we actually see in theaters. She even threatened the production, I think Sony it was, she threatened them that she was going to go public and say that in their work environment, movies that they may produce, women are of the risk of being SA'd on set, and they decided that they were going to go with her version. But let it be known that it is not really her version, but her husband's version of the movie. There's this famous rooftop version of the movie. There's more than one version, and she had rewritten it, right? She called Justin over to her house, and her husband was there, Taylor Swift was there. And when he went there, they were going over the scripts, and she showed him like, hey, you know, this is what I've written, this is how I want this scene to go. And he agreed because Taylor was there, and you know, Taylor is huge, we all know she's an icon, right? So he felt like she was pressuring him to take her version of the movie. So he had texted her, and he was like, you didn't have to bring out the big dogs, like you didn't have to do that. I liked it regardless. I liked your new rewritten script. I read it and I liked it. You didn't have to bring out the big dogs trying to convince me to go with your version. But come to find out, when the movie was being promoted, Blake was like, oh, by the way, my husband rewrote that scene of the movie. So this entire time she was convincing Baldoni to go with her version, and how, you know, it's great and she thinks this is the best direction of the movie. The entire time it was her husband's doing, it was her husband's work and not hers. So she has just been, you know, from all of this, what I can get is that they didn't want him to be in charge of the movie, because as you know, he has the rights to It Ends With Us movie, right? He has the rights, and she wanted full control. And I don't understand why it is that she wanted full control. It's like you're contracted to do a movie, you're just an actor there. Act. Like if you have issues with certain things, then I understand. And the fact that she dismissed, she didn't want an intimacy coach, right? She didn't want an intimacy coach, and then she's going to put in her lawsuit that she felt uncomfortable and there wasn't an intimacy coach, sorry, for those, you know, specific scenes, and how Justin Baldoni was doing the most, and it's obvious that he liked her and he wanted to see her naked, and she was so against it. And come to find out that he actually had one, she didn't want one, right? And another thing that she's saying that she felt so uncomfortable about was him coming in her trailer while she was breastfeeding. Come to find out that she was the one that texted him and was like, hey, you know, I'm just feeding my baby, you can come in, we can run over lines. So if he thought there was a line there, right, and he was not going to overstep that line, and you invited him to do so, so he thought that it was normal for you to do so, right? And now you are complaining about it, you're making a lawsuit about it. It's ridiculous. But guys, check out my next video about the Stand With Blake hashtag on X, where persons are in complete support of her. It's crazy. I'm going to go through those with you guys, so go. Thank you for watching, thank you for the support, and I'm going to link the video with the Stand With Blake on X. Sorry, it is crazy, but go check it out.